tools, coaching, support, and accountability you need to be successful. The 10-week challenge begins on June 8th, and monthly payments are now available. Head to fxblincoln.com for all the details. Your health for granted, and get started with Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hey guys, it's Nick. 93.7 The Ticket is excited to be broadcasting this weekend from Stillwater, Oklahoma, as the Big Ten champion Nebraska baseball team appears in their first regional since 2021. From Friday through Monday, Austin and I will have pregame shows, postgame reactions, interviews, and other thoughts from Stillwater as the Huskers begin their road to Omaha. If you're making the trip down there, make sure you join Austin and I on Friday from 12 to 2 from the Garage Burgers and Beer in Stillwater, located just 3 blocks away from O'Brate Stadium. Regional coverage is presented by Mullen Motors, Sandhills Global, and Blur Events. It's NCAA baseball tournament coverage live from Stillwater, Oklahoma, this Friday through Monday on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from CEDARS at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to CEDARS anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for 3! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NEPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome into On the Block, live on location, 66th and Pioneer Street in Lincoln, Nebraska. Austin Norman, Erick Strickland with me. Stricky, I'm used to seeing you in red, but you're in Mavericks blue tonight, repping the Mavs, and most importantly, repping CEDARS. How about that?
That's a fact. CEDARS is definitely off the hook. Celebrating this wonderful event today out here on Pioneers. And, just a great turnout. The weather's holding up for us right now, which is beautiful. Got a couple more hours. They're ahead of their goals. So we're excited about being able to be here and supporting them. And obviously, we're going to watch the game afterwards. After WTF, though.
Oh, that's right.
WTF tonight.
Coming up tonight, Jake Sorensen.
Yes.
You have a headset on.
I do.
That means you want to say something.
I do have something to say. Okay, in here. All right. I've just talked to Jim Blue and Doug Gans, courtesy of Pinnacle Bank. Now, we talked on early break about how they've donated a 2 days of golf and 2 hotel rooms for Tatanka Golf Club, which is a wonderful course at Northeast Nebraska, just west. It's in Niobrara, just west of Crofton, where my wife is from, just north of Norfolk. A second one's on the table. A second golf package of 2 days of golf, a foursome, and 2 hotel night, 2 rooms in a hotel is up for grabs. So if somebody, I cannot say it's the first person, if you donate $500 plus or more, you're in the drawing to get the golf foursome.
So it's kind of a blind.
Yeah.
It's a silent auction.
You're in the drawing if you donate $500 plus.
Yeah. There you go.
So that's the scoop. That just breaking news from Jim Blue and Doug Gantz and Pinnacle Bank that, hey, back on the table. A second golf foursome, 2 days, 2 nights in terms of, and a 4-man scramble, four-man group for 2 days is on the table for people who donate $500 plus to CEDARS.
There you go.
Give to Lincoln.com. Do it big. Do it big. Oh,
big,
DP's on the
big.
mic now.
DP, hopping on the mic. You got everyone here.
Hey, Strick. How's a golf foursome sound?
Bro, Stricky will get in now. I don't mind.
A golf foursome, for these $500 donors in a pool, one of them will get to play golf with you.
Man, Stricky will do it.
I thought that was a good idea.
Stricky will make it happen now. I ain't scared. I ain't scared to drive either.
There you go.
There you go.
Great golf course. Donate for.
I
great
do
cause,
smoke cigars though.
That's good. That's more the
and I
reason to join
drink athletes.
Yeah, Jay Foreman is the athletes. There,
right.
Say it again.
Again, give to Lincoln.com. Select CEDARS. If you want to stop by, you can drop off a check. Lincoln Community Foundation. You can write that to, or cash. But if you are in for $500 plus for a donation, you are entered in the drawing for 2 days and 2 nights and 2 days of golf at Tatanka for a group of 4, and 2 nights in a hotel, also at Ohio Casino Resort up there in Niobrara, Nebraska.
And you get Stricky.
Cool. And Stricky's involved.
What more do you need?
And listen, if we finish up in time, you never know. I might throw them on the block and let them have a celebrate, man, for this wonderful group that they were and had a nice time. Mr. Blue is in the building. I'm going to let him sit in the middle.
Hop on in, Mr. Jim Blue, President, CEO of CEDARS, joining us live, taking the middle seat, the chair of honor.
Big Jim.
Jim, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you. It's been a great day.
Which headset we got you on here? I'll figure that out. Let's see. This one should be on. Let's try this one.
That Jake was on.
You got me?
There we go.
Like
Jim Blue. There we
Sounds
go. They're back. Welcome back to the program. You keep trying to put everyone else on there. Why not you?
No,
we like to talk to you too.
I'm kind of shy.
You've done this radio thing before though, so you don't look shy. You don't act shy. I'd like to hear from you.
Guys, I want to thank you very, very much. I'm shaking everybody's hands, by the way, right now.
That's all right.
This has just been a great day, and it's so much fun to see the community energy just roll and roll and roll. What we're doing here is really important for the kids in our care, building this recreation center. I just can't imagine myself if I was, say, 14 years old and I had problems in my home and I'm all of a sudden in an emergency shelter. But I want to try and make the freshman football team. When school starts.
With the instability of it.
And to have the recreational center with the court and the fitness room, but also just the recovery from the trauma going on here is so important. It's a century project. 100 years from now, folks can be thankful to people.
Jim, I just got one quick.
Yeah.
Give us kind of a feel-good story of the young men and women that have come through and how they come back and how you've seen just changes. Give us not necessarily names, but give us just a couple of the stories, because I'm sure your heart has to be warmed when you get an opportunity to look them in the eyes and say, man, look how far you've come, or look where you've come from.
So, we're all real. We all understand that we're dealing with people, sometimes kids who have been really mistreated. Sometimes there aren't miraculous stories. Sometimes there are really sad stories. And our employees, their ability to hang in there and come back the next day with some really sad stories. But you got to keep those in a place, and you got to remember these really happy ones.
So you have to remain even keeled.
Yeah, you gotta
because
just keep everything short because there
Mhm.
were some really sad tragedies.
Yeah.
16-year-old girl who was homeless, and we were working with her for 2 days trying to convince her to come into shelter, and then she disappeared.
Wow.
You gotta sort that out and keep it. But then I also remember we were doing some plumbing work here, and our friends at Bigger Staff were here doing the doing the plumbing, and there was a master plumber, and then he had a female apprentice.
Oh, wow.
So that was
That's
interesting.
awesome.
So I said, hello. She said, I'm sure you don't remember me, but I stayed right here in shelter.
Wow.
2 years ago.
Wow.
And I remember you. And then she saw one of our staff people down the hallway. They went and gave each other a big hug. I mean, those are stories I remember.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And so with her, in partnership with her, she recovered. And now she's in a trade, which is golden, right? You're in the plumbing industry.
That is something that's unusual,
yeah,
especially
yeah.
with the females going in.
Just
and
golden story.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, I mean, the CEDARS organization is not just about emergency shelter for teenagers. It's foster care. We always need foster parents, especially for teenagers. I would a million times be a foster parent for a teenager before I would a 6-month-old child, because 15-year-old has a clue about what they missed and what they can still have. A 6-month-old is a 6-month-old.
I got an 8-month-old at home, so trust me, I'm on that wavelength.
But we have a nationally accredited child care center at 27th and Holdridge for the kids of working low-income families. We do after-school programming at Clinton, Hartley, Randolph elementary schools. It's our organization I'm really proud of, and thank you to our friends at the Ticket and the whole community for making this a reality.
Awesome.
It's a joy for us to be out here seeing your work in progress, and part of that, we were out here last year for the first time, a great event. The Carriage House, update us on progress with that.
It's doing great. You folks helped us last year raise the money for the Carriage House. Really unique program, I say, in the universe. No other program that I know of like this. So we have like 70 apartments for kids across the community, 19 to 24 years old, wonderfully successful. 90% of the kids are successful in taking over those apartments. Minors, we are not so successful with. 50%. When we put a minor in an apartment, even with all the support we provide. So we're going to do something different. It's a Carriage House. So we are building out back here is 2 2-bedroom apartments and 4 1-bedroom apartments. And I don't know the best way to describe this, but it's kind of an independent living skills boot camp, right? So in 3 months, we're going to intensely work with these kids on how to be successful in an apartment in the community on your own with our staff.
And the responsibilities that come with that.
So every apartment has a washer and dryer and a dishwasher, everything they need to learn how to do these things. Food acquisition, preparation, storage is so important. That's going to be and our special priority is on pregnant parenting teens that have no place to live. So then we will wrap around parenting skills and healthcare. Really a cool program. Answer your question. We raised some money a year ago for that, and we're going to open in August.
August, nice.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep. I got a call last night, and electricians are out of there now. So now comes the drywall, and it's just moving along wonderfully.
That's incredible. We are so excited to hear that. And then this year's project, Indoor Activity Center.
Yep.
What do you guys envision that being used for?
So this organization serves, there's 1,500 kids sometimes every day. It varies. But we have no one place for kids to congregate and to be together, but also to recreate, right? So our emergency shelter, when the weather is bad, 16-year-old kid has no place to go other than their bedrooms and kind of the common area of shelter. It's bad all the way around. So what this is it's a modest-sized multi-use court, 60 foot. You know, I hear a basketball court 90 feet.
A little bit longer. Quite a bit longer.
60 feet.
94.
Yeah, 94? Oh, interesting. This is going to be 60. And, we'll have the volleyball, pickleball holes and things like that. But we'll have games in the floor, Foursquare and things like that. We'll also have a 2-lane track around the outside just so kids can walk with staff. But we'll also have a little fitness room. We'll have a little yoga meditation room. We'll have a counseling room. and we'll be building it on campus. It'll be attached to the emergency shelter, so in bad weather, kids will be able to roll out there, but kids from all the programs will use it too. We also will have a nice PA system. We have no place where speakers can come in and talk to groups of our kids, so it'll be built into that. We would love to get someone like Erick Strickland to come in and talk about the discipline that he has focused on throughout his career to be a success. And this will be the environment to do things like that, right? So really looking forward to it. I want to have it open by the winter of 25-26.
There you go.
So we're going to start construction this fall.
Sweet. To pitch into that project, givetolincoln.com, search CEDARS, put the amount, put your information. It's that simple drive by. We're still here at 66th and Pioneers. Take donations in person as well. Strick, Jim mentioned.
Get in on the 500 for
please,
the
golf trip.
Please do. It's really easy. Just go to the website, do it, or drive by here. We'll make it fun for you.
Strick, Jim mentioned the congregating, the communal aspect, and the recreation of sports. How did you see that as a benefit to you when you were growing up? Did that spark you as you moved on? Just being with teammates and being in a space with other kids, having that ability to play?
I mean, we had those, obviously, with boys clubs, girls clubs, YMCAs, youth centers, being at the Air Force, so those things were available. And, and it's awesome because the kids from all over the base communities could come to this spot. And it's very similar to what Jim is saying. You're talking about dances. You're talking about skating. You're talking about what are those things when you have the you all are competing, but you're talent show. You're able to do all of these different things. So it's absolutely beautiful. I will say also, it's similar to what we used to have in the community as a whole. I mean, there would be a circle drive or a court where we would all congregate and just play stick ball. And that's what they're basically building at a facility for these young men and women. It's to bring that camaraderie, it's to build those relationships, because you can get into a silo, you can get into your own bubbles, and it allows you to be able to branch out and be able to communicate and learn how to do that in those types of atmospheres.
Absolutely. Yeah.
How important is it for that kind of peer-to-peer relationship here at CEDARS, right? I mean, we know your staff is amazing, incredible. I want you to talk about them in a minute, but how important is it for maybe those teenagers to come around the kids who are 10 or younger and show them that, hey, you are welcome here, your family here, when it's, kid to kid.
Yeah, that's safe space.
Another great memory just happened last week. We have an outdoor court here, which doesn't work well in February.
Of course.
Of course. We have an outdoor court, but last week there were some kids from shelter playing on it, and there was a really younger kid, sad situation, a 10-year-old kid. And you see this all the time. These kids, they don't know how to shoot a basketball sometimes. They don't know how to throw a football and which foot to go ahead of the go ahead first compared to the arm. Nobody has taught them how to do that. So this young man, this 10-year-old, is out there trying to shoot a basketball. Two of our 17-year-olds, I saw it, and they were a foot taller than this kid. They went up and figuratively wrapped their arms around this young man, taught him how to shoot a basketball.
Wow. Nice. That's beautiful. Those are the stories we're talking
about. Dozen shots later, he sunk one.
You make him.
Nice. Yep. Yeah. Quick learner.
Quick learner.
Yeah.
And he just needed that. He just needed that little bit. When you go from the top, the older groups are able to, like you said, peer and look at those youngers, and the youngers are able to look up. It's pretty good.
And maybe more important than the lesson in shooting a basket for the 10-year-old was the 17-year-olds.
Yeah.
Sure. Reaching out and helping somebody else, which is what we ask people to do in the city of Lincoln here to give to Lincoln Day to make this a reality for kids. So just go to the website, make a gift according to your means. This is a real thing. It'll go right to this project. 100% of it is real. Or drive by and drop your donation off.
Again, 6601 Pioneers, givetolincoln.com. Jim, what are you most proud of with your staff here at CEDARS?
I would say probably integrity. And I'm going to give you a 2-point answer. You're asking for one thing. It's integrity. As Warren Buffett said in an interview recently, never do business with anyone who is lacking in integrity. because you can't learn it when you're an adult. You can learn as a child,
Sure.
but as an adult, you can't.
Kind of where you are.
Integrity is and that's what we've tried to build our brand, as it were, on, is integrity as an organization, the people who work here, but also longevity.
That's what I was going to say, retention.
Yeah, retention.
Yeah.
And we have got to the point of we have folks now that have been here for not just 10 years, 20, 30, and beyond. And that kind of longevity makes for a continuation of values like integrity, where, there is not even a starter for someone who's lacking in integrity around here anymore. We do what we say we're going to do. We're going to build this for the kids because it's important today and it's important for a century from now. We're going to get this done with the help of the people in the Lincoln community. One
of the things I'm reminded of when you say that, and even before you was about to say that, my mind already gravitated to that longevity, that continuity, that retention. And the reason being is I was reminded of Tom Osborne.
Yeah.
I was reminding of the University of Nebraska, and all of that staff could have at any time went on to bigger and better things or other things that they even wanted to pursue on their own. But it's created a championship environment, which you've now encapsulated right here at CEDARS. And I think that's beautiful.
I'm a Lincoln kid, Erick, Lincoln Southeast. My junior year at Southeast was Frank Solich's last year there, right? But then they brought in Coach Mazurski, who stayed there 4 years. But then Coach Solich went and coached the freshman team when that existed at the university.
Yeah.
And then he moved on. When I'm a kid growing up in Lincoln, I'm seeing that kind of longevity, that kind of consistency. And it just becomes part of your soul. You know who's there: Osborne, Ron Brown, Coach Solich, Tennifer, all these people. And so it's been a hard couple decades, but but I think that value is being reinvigorated into the program right now. And that's what we try to do here. That's a great example at the university.
Yeah.
Jim, you've been generous with your time. We have one more for you before we get you out of here. I know today is about the excitement of the Carriage House in August. It's about the Indoor Activity Center. But we were talking with Allison before, and she mentioned that you guys don't do anything randomly. It's not just throw it against the wall, see what sticks. There's planning involved. Can you clue us in for what's next for CEDARS? Anything else on the horizon?
We have a drop-in center downtown called the Youth Opportunity Center. It's on N Street, and it is the only place where runaway and homeless kids are on the street escaping things, trafficking, can go to get out of the weather, to get a meal, to get help, maybe access to one of our housing options for kids who are homeless. We need a permanent home for that. Maybe it's in that location, maybe not, but I think that the next youth drop-in center is our priority for the future. So we'll see. We may be back here next year talking about that.
You know.
Real quick
on
that.
What do you think, DP? Maybe?
It's a thumbs up from Boss Man.
Real quick on that note, because when your team interacts, and it's not a big answer, but when your team interacts with young folk, I could imagine some approaching with a lot of tentativeness. And then, and again, we do have the stories that go both ways. But what I'm saying is it take maybe a couple touches, maybe coming in about 4 or 5 times, maybe not talking at first, and then you kind of start to see a little open. Like is it like your staff has been trained to basically read those things, not to push too hard, not to, you know what I mean? How is that process? Because I think that's something good to know.
Yep.
Because everybody doesn't know how to deal with that. And people listening right now, may run into people that they may catch like that, because you've got to have a fine line before how much you go and how much you try to give an approach, because sometimes there's that trauma, like you said there, that needs to be dealt with first.
So I guess I would approach that, Eric, with the idea of professionalism.
Great word.
So folks who
great word
want to just help a kid And if it doesn't work that time, the volunteers' needs aren't met. That kid's bad. They're never going to get it. So the little savior thing, bubble is broken, professionalism. So I remember one young lady first came to us when she was 15, and she ran away. We never saw her again. Until about 6 months later, when she came back into shelter. She did really pretty well. She went to a foster home. That didn't work out so well for her. We lost track. She came back again, and this time it stuck.
Wow.
And she moved into one of our foster homes. That worked. And then she moved into one of our apartments. I was with my wife shopping at Hy-Vee, and we were in one of the aisles, and all of a sudden I hear, "Jim!" And she was working there, and she came up and gave me a big hug and said, "I am just doing great and everything, and thank you so much for all you're doing." And, my wife was impressed with me there for a hot minute. And it's the professionalism and giving kids a chance to be kids and learning and realizing they're coming from a pretty fragile state. And eventually that foundation can be solidified with patience.
Nice.
It's happening here at CEDARS, 6601 Pioneers Boulevard and across the city of Lincoln. Lincoln, you've stood up for us time and time again, for CEDARS time and time again. You got, can I get my math hat on here? About 9.5 hours that we're asking you here to continue to stand up for CEDARS and the youth in the community here. Jim, appreciate your time. Great to talk with you again. Thanks for having us out, choosing us to be the conduit for your message. It's an honor, it's a privilege, and we're always rooting for CEDARS.
Absolutely. And before I let you go, and before you address it, I just wanted to say, when you drive by here and you see CEDARS, you see action. So this isn't one of those things where you donate your money and then all of a sudden you don't see anything happening. You come by here at CEDARS, you see action, and that's the beautiful thing about where your money is going and what it's going to help and what it's going for. There's action here.
It's going to the staff who make life-changing differences for kids. When you're on Google, type in "Give to Lincoln," then you see CEDARS. Donate what you can. Help us out, or come by here and say hello to our friends.
All good.
That'd be awesome. We'd love to see you. We'll go to break. Jim Blue with us here. Strick and Austin back for more on the block right after this.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from CEDARS at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to CEDARS anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com.
In a world where businesses are facing daily cyber threats, you need protection like never before. Don't let hackers and malware companies compromise your business success. Stay ahead of data breaches with Hamilton Cybersecurity. Let Hamilton provide you with peace of mind that your business is protected. Our experts identify and mitigate risks before they become disasters. As your trusted partner, we help you protect your valuable information. Hire your local cybersecurity experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Service Ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
The end of the school year is drawing near, which means graduation parties are coming soon. Are you prepared for that if you're hosting? Fierce Cheese Spread is the dip that brings everyone together to celebrate graduations and to close out a great school year. And it goes well with crackers, meats, soups, and more. How could you throw a party without it? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Fierce Cheese Spread. No graduation party is complete without it.
Spring often marks the beginning of severe weather, which can lead to power outages. LES wants you to be prepared before the storm. Restock your emergency kit, update your info with LES, and if you encounter an outage, report it at les.com/report.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's truck month at Koppel, and we want to sell them all. Choose between 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list price. Yes, you heard right. That's 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list on select new GMC and Chevrolet inventory. So please make that money-saving drive to Koppel in Louisville or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit must trade and finance.
Spring sports are here, and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine. Hey guys, it's Nick. 93.7 The Ticket is excited to be broadcasting this weekend from Stillwater, Oklahoma, as the Big Ten champion Nebraska baseball team appears in their first regional since 2021. From Friday through Monday, Austin and I will have pregame shows, postgame reactions, interviews, and other thoughts from Stillwater as the Huskers begin their road to Omaha. If you're making the trip down there, make sure you join Austin and I on Friday from 12 to 2 from the Garage Burgers and Beer in Stillwater, located just 3 blocks away from O'Brate Stadium. Regional coverage is presented by Mullen Motors, Sandhills Global, and Blur Events. It's NCAA baseball tournament coverage live from Stillwater, Oklahoma, this Friday through Monday on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello? Jan, it's Kay. Are you and Rich free for dinner tonight? I'm making pizza.
Sounds great. What time?
6 p.m.?
Sorry, can't do it. Wheel of Fortune is on and Rich won't miss it.
You're kidding.
Nope. He's seen every episode since 1975. He won't budge.
Listen, tell him if he comes, we'll buy him a bunch of Wheel of Fortune scratch tickets from the Nebraska Lottery.
Won't work. He has to see the show.
That's just it. Until July 30th, if Rich enters any non-winning $5 Wheel of Fortune scratch ticket online, he could win the ultimate fan trip to Los Angeles, including airfare and accommodations. He'll also win tickets to a live taping of Wheel of Fortune and get to spin the big wheel to win at least $2,000.
That might work. Could you do just one other thing?
Sure. What?
Could you write free spin and pepperoni on every other slice of pizza?
Why don't you just come at 7?
Wheel of Fortune top prize odds, 1 in 112,000.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from CEDARS at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to CEDARS anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. It is On the Block. Austin Norman and Erick Strickland with you. And for the first time ever, I believe, on the block, Bella! What's going on? We are... Oh, Nick took the other one. Gosh darn it, that's on me. Thanks for joining, Bella.
Absolutely. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Of course.
My On the Block debut.
You are looking tougher than both of us with a mighty scratch on your nose.
Yeah.
How did you manage that?
Yeah, did you get in a fight with Tyson or something?
I feel like I should tell you that it was like a really cool story.
What's the other guy look like?
Yeah, exactly. One of those things where I tell you that I fought somebody and you should see the other guy and whatever. But so this morning, I was coming here at supposed to get here at 6 a.m. this morning, set my alarm for 5 as I would. 4:50 a.m. Okay, I got a cat tree right next to my bed. My cat decides 10 minutes before my alarm goes off, jump off the top of the cat tree onto my face, nose is bleeding, all over the place, whatever. I get it cleaned up, I get here. But then it's like you forget that it happened because you can't see your own face. So then you're just looking at everybody else and you're like, why are they looking at me like that? Or why is everybody hesitant to talk to me? Are they scared of me? And then it's oh, it's because I look like I got in a fight.
Basically, what happened to Bella is Jimmy Superfly Snuka, and she got rock bottomed by the cat. It was a WWE match going on in Bella's house with the cat, and the cat won. Matter of fact, she was dreaming. It was a Nightmare on Elm Street night, and next thing you know, Bella's cat came in with the Freddy Kruegers, and just went to work on you.
Oh my gosh. No, but then you get here, and my day started off a little bit rough. But you get here at CEDARS, and then everything's better. We just had the best day. It's not over yet. We're still going, obviously, but got here, started off with early break this morning, and they're talking about on Bill's Thrills the different types of laughs people have. Did you guys listen to that?
Oh my gosh.
No.
Bill was saying that the best people are
Snorters?
the people. Yes, yes. How did you know?
I know.
Oh my gosh. Yep. The best people are the snorters, and the worst people are the people that go, "That's so funny," or whatever. They don't laugh. They just go, "That's so funny."
You want to know who the best laugh? You're gonna have to go and YouTube this. It is freaking Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard has the freaking you can't help but laugh if you hear. You're gonna have to go look it up.
I'll look
look
it up.
up Kawhi Leonard's laugh.
Okay.
And anybody listening, it is the most hilarious thing. You can't even duplicate that. You can't even duplicate it. It's so funny.
Oh, he's got it.
We won't be able to hear it since we have headphones on, but I'll get it ready to play
Well,
after the
so you
segment.
can-
I know
Oh my
DP and Jay would do the Andrew Luck laugh sometimes during old school neckbeard and everything. I can hear the sound now. God bless Andrew Luck and everything that he meant to the Colts organization. Bella, have you decided if you're moving the cat tree or not?
My mom texted me after, and she goes, "Bella, I think you need to move the cat tree." And she said, "Not right away, but I think you need to consider it," which is just so funny. Like, just how complicated we've made it that I need to move the cat tree now. I don't know, though. Like,
Has your cat done this to you before today?
No, she's a year old. I love her to death. She apologized, so we're okay. It's fine now.
I wonder how that happened.
But I don't know. If I've had her for like almost a year, and this is the first time that happened, I think I might just take my chances. I don't know. What do you guys think?
If you get Freddy Krueger one more time, I don't know.
You get a scratch going the other direction.
Right.
Then
X marks the spot.
Except like inches away from disaster. Like, it could have been my eye.
Your eye, yeah.
Could have been my eye. Wasn't my eye.
Your neck.
My neck. Yeah, I could have like struck I don't know how that works, a vein and made me bleed out. I don't know.
Glad it didn't happen.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course.
We love you here, Bella, so we don't want nothing
thank
bad to
you.
happen.
I'm happy to be here. Thanks
Take us through track season.
How
was it? How'd it go?
Oh my gosh, I'm retired.
How's that feel?
It feels good. It feels good. I've been struggling past like 3 years really with hamstring injuries, and it's just something that I've worked with. I've gotten dry needling done every week for the past 2 years. I've gotten ART and all this PT stuff and stem and ice and blood flow restriction therapy, like all this stuff to try to get my hamstrings back to where they needed to be, and I was just kind of duct taped together. Unfortunately, in the national finals of the 200 this past weekend, I pulled my hamstring and DNF'd. I was unable to finish the race, which meant I didn't get to stand on the podium as an All-American. But I've decided that with all of the devastation from this week, I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on all of the other opportunities that I had at Nebraska Wesleyan to just kind of like prove myself as an athlete and prove that I'm more than just a runner. And so I think that's what I've chosen to focus on rather than maybe the not so fun stuff.
Well, I can honestly say it's been beautiful to work with you because of just your creativity, stepping into a room with you and just sharing a vision that I had, and for you to just snip, snap, right off the bat, just put it together. And I'm like, whoa, that's it. You're tremendous at what you do. And we definitely love you here at the Ticket and the continued work that you do as well.
Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. That is super, super nice. I'm excited to be around more. In a couple weeks, I will start as the assistant manager here at the Ticket.
Wow.
So I don't know
Assistant
if we
manager,
talked about this
assistant
or
to the
not,
manager.
But DP and Rebecca have just been so kind to me and so helpful, and have helped me to learn how to make the mistakes, how to grow from the mistakes and find success. And so I feel like they have put a lot of work and effort into me, and I want to continue to work with them and to work with you guys. So I'm excited that I'll be around a little bit more.
You don't get on the afternoon show very much, right? You're a morning person. We
Right.
get it. You don't like us. You leave
Yeah,
to
that
see us
part.
every day. It's
No,
fine. We don't
no,
take it
no.
personally. What's been your favorite part about working at the Ticket? What are you most looking forward to?
Oh, it's definitely the people, which is such like a cliche answer. or
Except us,
whatever.
apparently,
Yeah,
Strick, but
yeah.
whatever.
Well, you guys never invited me on. That's why I haven't been
Standing
on.
invitation, Bella.
Okay, well then catch me every day.
Open door.
On the block with Strick, Austin, and
There it is.
How about on the block with Bella, Strick, and Austin?
Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
BCA or BSA? No, B.
Yeah.
BSA.
Yeah, you're right.
Sure, let's go for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, BSA.
It works.
With BAS.
Oh my
BAS.
No, but really, like my role has been a little bit unique in that I'm sort of hybrid with how my schedule has worked for track and how it's worked with just kind of like my school back and forth going to and from the station. And the days where I'm on the radio station or I'm at the radio station, those are the days that are like my favorite, that go by super fast. I wish that I had more time there. So I'm excited that in the next couple of weeks, I'll be kind of full-time in person, like kind of immersed in everything rather than just like sitting on my couch, like making a little graphic for social media. I'll be like in the building with all of you guys, which makes things so much more fun.
I don't know if I know this. How did you find the ticket, or how did the ticket find you?
Oh, yeah. Handshake, I think,
Okay,
which is like the app for students looking for jobs and internships. I was just like scrolling on Handshake. I needed an internship for school, like regardless. And I was kind of being picky about what internships I wanted. And so I was like applying for some, but I was like waiting for that like perfect opportunity to arise. And I remember sitting in my bed at my last apartment and I saw this one pop up. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, is this for real? Like, that sounds like exactly what I'm looking for. Sent in my application, and then got an email from Rebecca like 20 minutes later.
Wow.
Well, first of all, she's on top of things, just in general.
To say the least, yes.
That's why our
she's
boss
got it
DP he understands, shake his head. He's like, yes, that's a fact.
She was so on top of it, and which just made me feel right away like, wow, this is a place that I want to be with, people that I want to work with. And so that's how that all started. And it was supposed to be just like a summer internship. I applied in like April of 2023. It was just supposed to work here until like August, but then it got to August and I like wasn't ready to step away. And so I stuck around for the first semester of this past school year. And then again, I was like, oh, I'm not really ready yet. I'll just work there for the last semester of college. And then now I'm still not leaving.
There it is.
Thank you guys for making this a place that I want to stick around at, a place that I want to keep working at. You guys definitely make it worth it.
Well, the last thing I'll say, the beautiful thing about it all, listeners, is 937 The Ticket, man, opens doors for those who have and want an opportunity, if it's available. It's not that it's just a bunch of openings sitting around here, but when there are, individuals like Bella, and it's the quality. That's one of the things I also love about what Rebecca and DP and 937 The Ticket do is they bring in quality people. So we also get the opportunity to work with quality people like yourself. So we're appreciative of you just as well.
Thank you. Wow, that is so nice.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Couldn't say it any better. Bella, it's been fun.
Yeah.
See you around more for the Bella, Strick, and Austin show.
Absolutely.
Moving forward here in the future. We'll go to break, wrap up hour one of On the Block from CEDARS next.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from CEDARS at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to CEDARS anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com.
NEPCO is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEPCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEPCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Hey guys, it's Nick. 93.7 The Ticket is excited to be broadcasting this weekend from Stillwater, Oklahoma, as the Big Ten champion Nebraska baseball team appears in their first regional since 2021. From Friday through Monday, Austin and I will have pregame shows, postgame reactions, interviews, and other thoughts from Stillwater as the Huskers begin their road to Omaha. If you're making the trip down there, make sure you join Austin and I on Friday from 12 to 2 from the Garage Burgers and Beer in Stillwater, located just 3 blocks away from O'Brate Stadium. Regional coverage is presented by Mullen Motors, Sandhills Global, and Blur Events. It's NCAA baseball tournament coverage live from Stillwater, Oklahoma, this Friday through Monday on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Keep summer green with Judson Bailene and Judson Irrigation. More than 40 years ago, Judson Irrigation started taking in orphans. Lawn sprinkler systems installed by a quickie, cheapy summer job, install 'em and forget 'em outfit, long forgotten. Call Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
$93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. See a chance of showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. An afternoon high around 76. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms are likely, with a low around 61. And tomorrow, we'll see a continued chance of showers and storms. An afternoon high around 74. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
In a world where businesses are facing daily cyber threats, you need protection like never before. Don't let hackers and malware companies compromise your business success. Stay ahead of data breaches with Hamilton Cybersecurity. Let Hamilton provide you with peace of mind that your business is protected. Our experts identify and mitigate risks before they become disasters. As your trusted partner, we help you protect your valuable information. Hire your local cybersecurity experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Spring often marks the beginning of severe weather, which can lead to power outages. LES wants you to be prepared before the storm. Restock your emergency kit, update your info with LES, and if you encounter an outage, report it at les.com/report.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Join On the Block and Old School live from Scissors and Scotch on 30th and Yankee Hill on Thursday, June 6th to celebrate their grand opening. Feel better instantly with a beard trim, haircut, or a traditional shave courtesy of the experienced and professional barbers at Scissors and Scotch. Stick around after your cut and enjoy a beverage in their cozy bar area, and don't worry, there's more than just Scotch. Spend your afternoon with Scissors and Scotch at 93.7 The Ticket, live on location June 6th from 2 to 6 p.m.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. On the Block with Strick and Austin.
It's, hey, he looked as advertised. He looked really good in the spring game. And because of that, we're going back to a bowl game this year, is what Husker fans are telling them. So I think the fans have a more realistic perspective, and I think this coaching staff has done a really good job of handling Dylan Raiola and the expectations around him.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from CEDARS at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to CEDARS anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're wrapping up hour one of On the Block. And Strick, I'm starting to think DP wants to give our show away. First he brings Bell on, and now the star of Speed and Power, Megan Walker.
Yeah. DP don't like us very well.
I thought we were doing okay.
I thought we were doing fine.
Maybe just like Megan and Bella more or whatever.
That's all right. Yeah, you need the 5-day-a-week joint.
Exactly.
Which you have been doing, to your credit, Megan, for the last week or so.
I have.
You have been in 5 days a week. You've been running the board for us. So let this be our public appreciation. Thank you. You are doing a great job.
Yes.
That's a fact.
Take people through, maybe they haven't listened to Speed and Power. What's it about? What do you do?
My main focus with the show of Speed and Power is to focus on people that are making a difference in the world of sports, and that we're not just athletes, we're also people too. So finding out where that person's from, what makes them unique from other people. So past Tuesday, we did the Hot Ones Challenge. So we had a group of D1 athletes come on, and we did the 10 winning sauces, and boy, was it a lot of fun.
You went for the gusto.
Oh my gosh, it was a great time. I'd like to see you do it.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
I'm too scared. I get it.
That's a fact.
I get it. Not everyone's man enough. It's okay.
That's a fact. and you can, and look, you control, tease, laugh, all of that. I'll take it all because I don't care. I'm not. You told me when you told me about what Chancellor Brewington did and how that was enough. That's all I need to hear. But no, real talk. I don't think a lot of people understand that, Megan. Like that dynamic of when they just see you in your athletic prowess and you're doing your thing, and that's how they view you, right? Not understanding that there's a balance. You're a person. You're a girlfriend. You're a sister. You're a daughter. I mean, there's other dynamics that go on to you instead of. And I feel the same way as an athlete, and so I thought that was pretty deep how you said that. Like, how do you feel people like? Do you feel like you get misjudged sometimes, or you know people maybe perceive you differently and not really have an opportunity to really get to know you because they have a perception of what they think you are?
Me personally, growing up in high school, I dealt with that a lot. A lot of people made these judgments, assumed I was a certain way. And so I felt like in my heart, it was my place to share other people and who they truly were. And especially with like being a woman, I feel like there's a lot of perception of like, oh, she can't do this or she's not smart enough to do this. And so I really want to like branch out and share who people truly are.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good.
You said that started in high school with you. Did your parents instill that kind of that attitude of, hey, I can do anything I want to, and like be caring and actually get to know people? Is that something you've just had like as a part of you for a while?
Just ever since I was born, I was very like, I have a big heart. And so I love to see who people truly are. I love that genuineness. I love that. And my parents definitely raised me to share who I am and just to like be genuinely with people about everything.
One other thing. Athletes deal with what you're dealing with right now. You can't really see Megan because she, just the upper half of her, but the lower half of her, she's got a boot on. And athletes, how are you dealing with the roller coaster ride of emotions that you go through when you have an injury, where you want to be out there in support, working with, fighting for your team, and it's just this freaking thing is just hindering you from being able to do, like, how do you deal with the emotions of that? Where does your focus turn to in order to deal with it?
So I'm in a boot right now. I've been dealing with this injury for the past track season. So I dealt with it indoor and outdoor season, and it was just really hard. It was really emotional because
frustrating too,
it was super frustrating. Yeah, because I'm dealing with all this pain, but I'm not going to sit out. I'm not going to quit because I was doing it for my team. I wanted to be there for my girls. I wanted to be there for my coaches because I play a role on this squad, and my purpose is to be a part of the team and to show out and to show up. And so it was definitely emotional, but you can't sit there and have pity for yourself. You got to keep going. Because
you really can. Like, I think that's one of the hardest things to understand. I know personally that, let me give you a different form of it, because being a professional, it's not that it's different. We're all athletes, but what I'm saying is, as a professional, we carry that. We want to be that for our team. We want to be there. But as a professional, it's a weird dynamic because if you don't perform, they don't care about the fact that you're hurt and you're trying to egg on for your team. You're trying to give the best that you can give, even though it's 80% of what you can offer. Sometimes it's best to wait. And I'm only saying that because there's a two-way street. Not that you can injure yourself more, but if you can't perform at your optimum, sometimes you will be viewed as more of a problem than actually your heart and mind is not that. you really want to just help. So I think that's a tough thing to deal with too.
And that was another emotional part of this season was because there's trainers, there's coaches, there's a lot of people's opinions weighing in on what you're going through. So, having to struggle with that. So,
And you're dealing with an injury away from home, right? You're not from Nebraska. What's it been like? How's your family handling it? Like, are they want to be there with you? Like, put you in bubble wrap? Like, no, it's our little girl. What's your family been like? Helping you deal with it and such.
Of course, my dad is like, hey, like, do you need to drive down there? I can take care of you for the weekend. Like, let me know whatever you need. My mom is very protective as well, but I'm always super independent. I love to be on my own. I don't like to have pity. I don't like to have people feeling bad for me. So I've just been going through all this on my own, like I always do.
It was easier for you to leave home than for them to let you leave home?
Exactly.
Yeah, that part.
Why Nebraska? Close enough but far enough? Is that part of it?
It's starting to rain. I love it.
Bring it.
Exactly. It was far, but it wasn't too far. And I just had this inkling. I just had this feeling that I could make myself known here. And that was one of the main reasons I wanted to come here, is because I want to be big one day, and this is where I'm going to start.
One thing, what was it that brought you to the ticket? What was the thing that said, you know what, I want to kind of stretch out and do something different, or this became interest, or what touched you while you were here that inspired you to want to be in more involved?
So I was dating a person who had a show here.
Oh.
And their show was doing really well, and their guest, their side host, whatever, quit the show, so they weren't doing it anymore. And so he asked me to be his little side co-host, whatever. So we did that for a little while, and then he wasn't doing the show anymore. And DP was like, hey, it could be your show now. And he just really took a chance with me. And oh my gosh, was I terrible? Was I absolutely the worst? And I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I've made a lot of progress in the past, 2 years?
Okay, we'll go to break here. The rain is starting to come down on us. It's blowing in our face. Need to keep the equipment safe. We'll be back hour 2 of On the Block from CEDARS 66 and Pioneers. Get to Lincoln.com right after this.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from CEDARS at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to CEDARS anytime, all day at GiveToLincoln.com.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com. Join On the Block and Old School live from Scissors and Scotch on 30th and Yankee Hill on Thursday, June 6th to celebrate their grand opening. Feel better instantly with a beard trim, haircut, or a traditional shave courtesy of the experienced and professional barbers at Scissors and Scotch. Stick around after your cut and enjoy a beverage in their cozy bar area, and don't worry, there's more than just Scotch. Spend your afternoon with Scissors and Scotch at 93.7 The Ticket, live on location June 6th from 2 to 6 p.m.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
Tanner's Bar and Grill is the perfect place to watch your favorite MLB teams this spring and summer, as well as Nebraska baseball. Enjoy Tanner's delicious hamburgers, chicken lips, and daily specials, and wash it down with one of their tons of options of beers. You'll never have an issue finding the game, as there are TVs everywhere throughout the space. So get in early and grab your spot and settle in for an afternoon or evening of baseball at Tanner's Bar and Grill, 30th and Yankee Hill. If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Hey guys, it's Nick. 93.7 The Ticket is excited to be broadcasting this weekend from Stillwater, Oklahoma, as the Big Ten champion Nebraska baseball team appears in their first regional since 2021. From Friday through Monday, Austin and I will have pregame shows, postgame reactions, interviews, and other thoughts from Stillwater as the Huskers begin their road to Omaha. If you're making the trip down there, make sure you join Austin and I on Friday from 12 to 2 from the Garage Burgers and Beer in Stillwater, located just 3 blocks away from O'Brate Stadium. Regional coverage is presented by Mullen Motors, Sandhills Global, and Blur Events. It's NCAA baseball tournament coverage live from Stillwater, Oklahoma, this Friday through Monday on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Spring often marks the beginning of severe weather, which can lead to power outages. LES wants you to be prepared before the storm. Restock your emergency kit, update your info with LES, and if you encounter an outage, report it at les.com/report.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the pursuit of justice for those that have been injured. My name is Eric Hagan, attorney with Liberty Law Group. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, call 877-42-LIBERTY. Our detail-oriented trial attorneys are committed to the highest quality legal representation. At Liberty Law Group, we will fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Once again, that's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from CEDARS at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to CEDARS anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. This is On the Block with Strickland Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NEBCO. This is On the Block with Strickland Austin.
A rain-soaked hour 2 of On the Block. Okay, not quite. We were pretty quick. We were pretty responsive. Big thanks to everyone who got us shifted down just a few feet, really is all it is, except we're inverted now. So we're out here on the block. Austin Norman, Husker Hall of Famer, 9-year NBA vet Erick Strickland with you. We are at CEDARS. I know it's raining a little bit. I know the sky's a little gray, but it's not that bad. Even though we can't see you, we will hear a honk and we'll throw our hand up. We'll wave at you, right? We still appreciate it. You can still come by and drop off donations in person. If you're scared of the rain, you don't like getting wet, don't have an umbrella, rain jacket, galoshes, whatnot, don't worry. GiveToLincoln.com is the website. Search Cedars, and you're good to go there from wherever it is you are, at the office, in your house. Stricky, you've played some baseball in some rain.
I have, but more importantly, I saw you walking in the rain. We was holding hands, and I'll never be the same. That's a song that you need to go look up, because that's what's going on right now. It is raining outside, but it is A-OK. We've got people here at Cedars that will make their way to you, and they will take your donations hand on hand. They don't care if it's raining. If you see them walking out in the rain, it's A-OK, because it is a beautiful day to donate to Cedars and what they're doing here. Out here on Pioneers Park. What's the exact address?
6601
Pioneers. 6601 in
Pioneers Boulevard. That
There it
is
is.
where we are at for another 3 hours or so. But Give to Lincoln Day doesn't stop when we're off the air here from Cedars at 6. It goes all the way through 11:59 p.m. tonight. So you still got about 9 hours to get those donations in. Again, there's not a bad cause to support on Give to Lincoln Day. Lincoln, we know you stand up, right? This is a huge event every year. Not because of us. We're not the ones raising the money. It's you guys. It's you, the community of Lincoln down here, that is generous with your time, with your money, of course, on a day like today. That is a big fundraising day. Cedars is working on raising funds this year to build the Indoor Activity Center. We've had a number of people talk about it. Allison talked about it with Nick and I. CEO Jim Blue was on and talked about it with Strick and I to start the show. We've had a lot of great guests. I'm sure we'll have another one yet this hour to tell you about the mission of Cedars and why it's so important to, support it here in this Lincoln community, doing a lot of good. That, it's a blessing that Cedars is in Lincoln. It breaks your heart, Strick, that Cedars has to exist, right? Because there's so much pain, there's so much hurt. But if there is going to be the suffering and these hardships and these trials, there is no better place in Lincoln than Cedars for these young children, these adolescents, pre-adolescents, to go and feel that support, feel that love, feel that warmth, than right here at Cedars.
That's a fact. It comes down to what Jim has said. It's a great team. It's a great crew.
Mm-hmm.
They have loyalty. They're committed to the healing process, and they want to help you through it. And it's in the community in which you live.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy thing about it is, no matter where you're driving, on the south side, the north side, whether you're downtown, you probably pass some of these young men and women that have gone through and and you can walk by them and see their face and never understand the fullness of what they're dealing with. But these people here at Cedars are trained to do the job. And even if you may know somebody, even if you have seen somebody, maybe you can recommend it. Call out here to Cedars, and they're very open. They can help in the process, and they're building great facilities here in order to help out as well.
6601 Pioneers Boulevard, GiveToLincoln.com. Let's talk a little sports. Well, we have a segment we do that. Just a little bit NBA stuff going on. Let's start with this.
About to jump off. I got the blue on. You know what I'm representing.
Mavs Wolves tonight, Game 5 up in Minneapolis. Dallas was not able to complete the sweep, but Strick, we talked about it. A team hasn't blown a 3-0 lead in the NBA yet. Gotten close a few times. But hypothetically speaking, let's say Dallas is able to get over the hump tonight. They win it in 5. What does the finals appearance mean for the city of Dallas and for the Mavs franchise?
Well, it's been a long time. Obviously, since 2011, they haven't had an opportunity to get in there and be in this position. The acquisition of Luka was huge because he fell to them. They were able to make the switch with Ice Trey, and
Ayton went ahead of him.
Exactly. There was a lot that was going on, and no one probably could have forethought to see it. They didn't have their Back to the Future almanac or anything like that, where they could say he's been first team all NBA for 5 straight years, dang near since a rookie. So Luka and Kyrie, they didn't play very well in the last game. They played well enough to win, but Minnesota just played better. And so they've got a chance to close it out. I venture to say you want to do it as soon as possible, because guess what? Boston's sitting over there chilling. They're waiting on you. They're getting healed. Porzingis is getting more time. So those are the things that you got to consider and think about when you're talking about a finals, getting into the finals, and you're going to have to go on the road. So not only are you on the road, this is why I thought closing it would have been imperative for them to do in this last game. But getting into this series, you've got to go back on the road. You definitely want to do it now. Don't want to have to continue to extend, go 7. And it's going to be important for them to have a good game. And hopefully Lively returns.
Right. Iffy is what ESPN
Shaky.
right. A little shaky questionable availability tonight. But yeah, it's not only the rest aspect, it's not only the health aspect that Boston is gaining on you. Every game you play deeper into a series streak, you're probably putting something on film you haven't before. It's going to take that adjustment to an adjustment. You give Boston more time to scout and figure out what it is that adjustment's going to be. Tyrone Hughes on Facebook, appreciate you listening. Sounds like you're one of Strick's boys. Appreciate that.
Tyrone Hughes is a legendary returner from the University of Nebraska. Broke all kinds of records, played for the Saints, was a all-pro for them. And, what is it called? Not all-pro. They call it he went into the were you is that all-pro?
All-pro.
Yeah.
It's all-pro. You good.
So, yeah, Tyrone
knows
Hughes
things.
out of the Saints, man, tremendous career for them. But even a better man, I need to get one of them jackets for him, man. Tyrone Hughes he came in for the for an event that we were doing. I don't know, it was a reunion, and he brought these big 8 jackets that had just the Big 8 crew.
Yeah.
I'm Big 8. I don't know
BOGs.
nothing about Big 12. I don't know nothing. Now I'm affiliated now. I'm affiliated.
Right.
But Tyrone Hughes, man, phenomenal guy, man. We thank him for his support. Thanks for chiming in, topping in. Great friends with VJ as well. Aaron knows the crew. So yeah, shout out.
Big shout out. Well, we're talking NBA, Strick, and Boston, right? They await the winner, whoever it is that comes out of the West. I saw this tweet yesterday, 2 days ago now, about just how fortuitous Boston got in a couple drafts. So the 2017 NBA draft was a big one. The top 3 players in that class, Markelle Fultz, Lonzo Ball, and Jason Tatum. Philly, Boston actually traded out of number 1. Okay, they trade down to number 3. Philly jumps up to number 1. They take Markelle Fultz. This was before his jump shot was broken. The Lakers take Lonzo Ball. Shaky, but remember, out of wasn't
Washington, wasn't he? Did he come from Washington?
He played at UCLA, but his high school.
Markelle Fultz?
Oh yeah, Markelle was at Washington.
Okay.
Lonzo was at UCLA and was at Chino Hills.
Chino Hills
in LA as well. So
Yep.
okay, kind of local connections there. The stars, the Hollywood. Jason Tatum only played about 2/3 of a season at Duke. And don't forget, Jason Tatum wasn't even supposed to be the best player in that class. It was Harry Giles, but he had 2 ACL injuries. So Boston trades back from number 1 to number 3, and they get by far the best out of the 3 players in that class in Tatum. Okay, fast forward to the next year. Same draft order. Philly picking number 1, Los Angeles Lakers picking number 2.
Cursed.
Boston picks number 3 again. Philly gets Ben Simmons. The Lakers get Brandon Ingram, and the Celtics get Jaylen Brown.
Wow.
I think it's closer between Ingram and Brown than it is any of the other guys in Tatum, but I still think pretty clearly Jaylen Brown's been the best player in that class. And it's the same 2 teams that messed up in front of Boston, a division rival and your biggest rival.
That's so dope. And here's what's crazy, though, right? There's no brotherly love.
Ain't none. No.
I mean,
none lost.
That on the east side, Philly is the curse.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the curse on the west side?
Dare I say Clippers, Kings?
I'm going to go Portland. I think you can say Portland going all the way back to Sam Bowie.
I mean, sure.
I mean, the Clippers, but I say them because they miss Jordan.
DP, grab the headset. Talk to me. Come on.
Give us your reasoning behind the Clippers. No, they are, but that I think that's self-sabotage, DP. I got to be honest. I think that's just a money dump for Sterling, man, just to basically say, I want to save money on my taxes. I think that's
no. See, here's the thing. Remember that the conversation about Bill Walton. This is why it's Clippers and not Portland, because the Bill Walton conversation takes us to.
You got Brandon Roy.
This takes you to a world championship against a bona fide Lakers, Celtics, Sixers season.
Okay.
Knicks, otherwise. And he did it with Mo Lucas and them. Like, he didn't do it with gang. He did it with some guys.
Mm-hmm.
The Clippers had Bill Walton, a homegrown talent, a guy that was made to wear the Clippers. Matter of fact, I was telling Harrison this. It's in my throwback closet. my Bill Walton's Clippers jersey is one of my favorites. One, it's a fantastic looking jersey. But two, it shows how bad some organizations are.
Mm-hmm.
The Blazers have a world championship. They have, look, it took Jordan to keep them from getting another chip recently.
Well, I got to say the Lakers shaky refereeing too.
Right.
They was good.
But tell me, Uncle Strickland, about that great Clippers championship.
Hadn't seen
Tell me about that wonderful Clippers final.
What about the Wolves?
Right? Like
that's a great.
They're new.
They're
They're still new. They're still new. But tell me about the time, Uncle Strickland, that the Clippers of the state of California were in that championship ring wearing holding the NBA trophy. And it never happened.
Or even got there.
And it makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me that an organization that sat, first of all, you put yourself in the shadows of the Lakers because you were in San Diego.
Right.
Like, wait a minute. You moved a franchise from San Diego. You moved out of San Diego?
That was built for Walt.
You moved it out of San Diego?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You can't recruit to San Diego?
That part.
Hey, what, the money? So I would rather take good money, great money in San Diego than the best money in Los Angeles.
Because it's the second best money in Los Angeles.
Why is San Diego? Why? How did they lose the Chargers?
Because San Diego is San Diego.
Dang.
San Diego is you had the second greatest hitter in the history of mankind. Couldn't chip with it.
Yeah.
Look, there's a lot to be said for the pure badness of Portland over decades. But I mean, listen, I'm from DC. I'm still holding on to Wes Unseld and Elvin Hayes. Like if they don't have the 1 year in '78 where the fat lady sang,
you're questioning over there.
I'm the Cleveland Indians, bro. Like I have to shut up.
52.
I have to not talk about championships. I have to just say, nah, we cool. What y'all doing?
Right.
What that championship do though? I would ask that question. So Blazers are the ones that leave me. And remember, the Blazers and the Clippers are worse than the Cavaliers.
Wow.
I mean, look, I'm old enough to remember when Austin Carr was the greatest Cleveland Cavalier. For decades, Austin Carr was the greatest. You can't. I don't even know who the third best Cleveland Cavalier was.
Zydrunas Ilgauskas.
Right, like you got to dig.
Yeah.
Like you got to dig to go and find. So there are organizations that are so poorly constructed. Right, like
men lie, women lie, buckets don't.
Right. I mean, you want to win, put Booby in. Like like we remember that there are some just historically bad NBA franchises.
Charlotte,
right? Like just terrible. I mean, Charlotte is close. Even
Bobcats, Charlotte is there.
Even in its newness, it's close. The New Jersey Nets.
For a long time,
right? I mean, you had a legacy. You had Bernard King, Dr. J, Jason Kidd,
Vince
Richardson,
Anthony,
Quentin. You had Jay Rich. You had everybody and didn't win. And
then your plan to win was old Paul Pierce, old Kevin Garnett, and.
But here's the franchise. Here's the franchise that is in the conversation in a way that we don't really talk about in full. The Atlanta Hawks.
I was going to say that, but then I was thinking Moses Malone.
No, the Atlanta Hawks.
Kemba.
You're right.
I mean,
you're right.
You had Neek, but again, Neek was just caught in a vacuum. Yeah. In any other era, he's the best player. I mean, you had Tree Rollins. You had some dudes.
Yeah, you had some dudes.
You also had the tallest 7-footer with the shortest arms in history.
Kevin Willis.
He was 7 foot tall.
The T-Rex.
That dude.
T-Rex.
Listen,
he was swole.
Yeah.
With little hands, but
he was 7 foot tall with Rico's arm.
He threw a jump hook like this.
I said his arms were as long as Rico is.
Either or, right? Like it just wasn't. It wasn't. Here's this 7-foot dude with the arms of really. It was amazing to watch because he would run down and he would leap. He could jump out the gym, but he had tiny arms, and it just.
Tiny arm.
You're like, I like to know what his sleeve length is. But it's
27,
right, for Atlanta, and that you had Trae Young. You have Trae Young, and you drafted in a position of power and authority for 7 of the last 8 drafts, and can't sniff an Eastern Conference championship.
Got there.
Is Atlanta a city that needs to lean into stars, or does it need to lean into blue collar? Because when I think of Atlanta, I think of that 2013, 14, 2011, 12 team. It was the team that had all 5 players win Player of the Month. It was Damari Carroll, Kyle Korver, Jeff Teague, Al Horford, and ISO Joe.
And how far did they go? Like ISO Joe saved them from early elimination.
They ran into Brunt
with two of the great finishes in a series that you can imagine. ISO Joe just said, I don't know why y'all even out on the floor. Like I'm taking these last 2 shots, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm just not trying to. With Atlanta, Atlanta's a transient town. It's like DC.
It is.
It's a transient town. So nobody's from Atlanta. Like
That's why they portray we want the style because the transients present that.
You
There's
have
not
too
blue
much
color.
to do,
Yeah.
and you're
Yep.
there to see who they're playing.
That's it.
And they don't fall in love with the. I mean, they married Neek, and he didn't get it done. And then you thought this will be pretty easy. I mean, again, this is a franchise that had Pistol Pete Maravich and didn't know what to do with it. Like, wow, okay, like, come on.
You think and Atlanta thinks it's a destination location. They think they're like LA. Like they think that people would want to come and play there, and you only to find out that you don't.
Is it a blue collar, white collar city, or a white collar, blue collar city?
It is a black city, first of all.
Okay, well,
like that.
Yeah,
for whatever way you want to say that. And I'm not an urban suburban guy. Like I don't fall into those 2 lines. Atlanta is a social life destination town. Right. It is not a sport. The people who get drafted to Atlanta do really well, but if you go to Atlanta, you're going for the wrong reason. Dion was perfect for Atlanta. They drafted him. He was a Southern kid. They understood the Jerry curl. They understood Tootsie Roll. He wasn't going to have to explain it to them. But on the other side of it, the Atlanta Braves were the opposite. And the only success that Atlanta knows as a sports town is the Braves. And to think about
dating back 50 years.
Right. And to think that they, of the 20 years of divisional domination, it's one World Series. It's one. And listen, you had to have look, we don't talk about Greg Maddux as being one of the top 5 pitchers all time, but he is. And you had to have John Smoltz, who I don't know, one of the top 5 closers that ever was. Hey, by the way, one of the 5 greatest left-handers, and Tommy Glavine was in that lineup. Hey, one of the best switch hitters of all time in Larry Jones. Hey, you went and got a 7-time all-time all-star third baseman in Terry Pendleton. Hey, you had David Justice out here dating Halle Berry, and you won 1 World Series. So Atlanta has some real issues in trying to figure out who they are as a sports town. I don't think they know yet.
New England for a while.
New England
on both sides.
New England
turned it around late. They were horrible. They used to wear the bags on their face. And the Boston Red Sox was known as just fumbling the championship with going through the legs.
They were the Cubs. They were the Cubs until they 3-0'd. Until they 3-0'd, they were the Cubs. And they hated the Yankees because the Yankees could buy and just smash their dreams. So for the NBA, because it's such a concentrated talent pool, and it takes very little to get your 3. I'm amazed at how many NBA organizations haven't figured out who their 3 is. Like how is it possible that Atlanta doesn't have a 3? How is it possible that we don't know who the top? If you ask me who the 3 is for the Wizards, what you intended on selling to people,
Poole, Kuzma, and
you say the they're an franchise. They're see, you just defined the bottom half of the NBA. They are the franchise. Because when you ask him a question
about he's okay.
Yeah, you're right. Like he's okay. He's not terrible. So listen, in this space, and this is what the beauty of sports, and why I always say that with Nebraska sports, you have to be careful. have to be careful. Don't become one of those organizations. Don't make decisions based on what you think the people around you want. Make good, sound personnel decisions.
Well, let me tell you this, DP. Because Tom Osborne got to a point where they was running to run him out of town. He got tired of not being able to get over the hump, getting there, but not getting over the hump and getting blasted. And he says, I'm going to get me some speed. Like it wasn't popular. It wasn't something that everybody was clapping, but he went out there and found, a Lawrence Phillips who had, but he was able to work through that. Goes down to Florida and gets a Tyrone Hughes at corner, gets a Michael Booker, he goes out there and gets speed.
You go to New Jersey and you get Rozier and Fryer from the same neighborhood, bro. Like, what do you
same block?
Like, what are you trying? What are we doing? Too many times in sports, and I don't care what sport, what level. There are too many times the decision makers make a decision that have nothing to do with winning. Doing business is one thing. Doing winning business is another.
Yeah.
And too many. Here's the part. Imagine Tom Osborne having to listen to people tell Dr. Tom Osborne how to make football decisions. This was I just pointed out to you that Dr. Tom Osborne had to listen to people who didn't even play football tell him about football. It is an insane thing. Atlanta, there's certain cities where they have to do the fashionable thing to sell tickets to stay in business, not understanding that the real winning business is winning.
Right.
And then money shows up.
How about this? We haven't talked Nebraska basketball in a while, Strick. DPS, who's the three? Who are the three for Nebraska men's basketball? Let's have that offseason conversation. Who are the three for Nebraska men's basketball? Maybe even hit the women's basketball. Who are the three for women's basketball?
We got to bring in some Cedars talent
too.
and let's be strong. But yeah, who's the three? Because I don't know.
We'll talk through it when we get back to On the Block here at Cedars 6601 Pioneers. Give to Lincoln.com on the block after this.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from Cedars at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to Cedars anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
There are over 1,000 kids in Cedars care today. We're here to ensure that each of them receives safety and stability they deserve. But we need your help. A gift to Cedars will make an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day, your gift goes even further with the available matching funds. I'm Jim Blue, president of the Cedars organization, and I'm asking you to go to givetolincolnday.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln kids today.
Do you need motivation to get to the gym on the weekend or even in general? Tune into the Movement Hour each Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. Movement Academy owner Robert Kuhlman will host the show as he introduces new ways to stay in shape. The Movement Hour every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the pursuit of justice for those that have been injured. My name is Erick Hagen, attorney with Liberty Law Group. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, call 877-42-LIBERTY. Our detail-oriented trial attorneys are committed to the highest quality legal representation. At Liberty Law Group, we will fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Once again, that's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's truck month at Koppel, and we want to sell them all. Choose between 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list price. Yes, you heard right. That's 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list on select new GMC and Chevrolet inventory. So please make that money-saving drive to Koppel in Louisville or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit must trade and finance.
Tanner's Bar and Grill is the perfect place to watch your favorite MLB teams this spring and summer, as well as Nebraska baseball. Enjoy Tanner's delicious hamburgers, chicken lips, and daily specials, and wash it down with one of their tons of options of beers. You'll never have an issue finding the game, as there are TVs everywhere throughout the space. So get in early and grab your spot and settle in for an afternoon or evening of baseball at Tanner's Bar and Grill, 30th and Yankee Hill.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals in everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Hey guys, it's Nick. 93.7 The Ticket is excited to be broadcasting this weekend from Stillwater, Oklahoma, as the Big Ten champion Nebraska baseball team appears in their first regional since 2021. From Friday through Monday, Austin and I will have pregame shows, postgame reactions, interviews, and other thoughts from Stillwater as the Huskers begin their road to Omaha. If you're making the trip down there, make sure you join Austin and I on Friday from 12 to 2 from the Garage Burgers and Beer in Stillwater, located just 3 blocks away from O'Brate Stadium. Regional coverage is presented by Mullen Motors, Sandhills Global, and Blur Events. It's NCAA baseball tournament coverage live from Stillwater, Oklahoma, this Friday through Monday on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Highball Bar in downtown Lincoln is open and located just north of 11th and O Street. Highball Bar offers a vibe and atmosphere like no other, making it the perfect place to grab a drink or beverage. Highball Bar features great events such as Karaoke Sunday, $4 Cheetos on Mondays, Jack Daniel's specials on Wednesdays, and much more. Make Highball Bar your go-to spot after a hard day at work or on the weekend. Highball Bar, located at 122 North 11th Street in downtown Lincoln.
School tells you all about the 4 seasons: spring, summer, and so on. And then there's a way we really tell what time of year it is. Sports seasons: football season, baseball season, or even off season. Well, what's the chocolate season? Well, it's now, of course. And now, and always. Whether you're looking for a caffeinated pick-me-up on the way to work, a little snack on the way home, or you need the perfect gift that's sure to be appreciated, it's time for the chocolate season, y'all. 40th and Old Cheney, or order ahead at thechocolatseason.com. See you there.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: see a chance of showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. An afternoon high around 76. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms are likely, with a low around 61. And tomorrow, we'll see a continued chance of showers and storms. An afternoon high around 74. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from CEDARS at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to CEDARS anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back halfway through hour 2 of On the Block from Cedar, 6601 Pioneers Boulevard. Kristen just came over, gave some important information. If you are bringing cash or a check by, hustle. get here by 4. That's when they have to leave Cedars to get downtown to the Lincoln Community Foundation to be able to make your cash or check work toward the match from the Lincoln Community Foundation. If you do have a check already written out, make sure it is made out to the Lincoln Community Foundation. Cedars goes in the memo line. Do not make the check out to Cedars. It goes to the Lincoln Community Foundation with Cedars in the memo line. If you wanted to stop by, it's not too late. We will be here till 6. But if you don't think you can make it in the next 22 and a half minutes or so, we would recommend you give online, because if you give online, that money will be matched. If you bring your cash or check, it still counts. It is still greatly appreciated, but you can double your dollars if you go online and give anytime from now until midnight. Austin Norman, Erick Strickland, special guest in the middle, Allison. Second time we've had you on today.
Yeah, thanks for having
More
me back.
comfortable, less comfortable, tired out, excited to be back. Where are you?
No, the energy today is really fun because we get to see not just what we're passionate about, but to see the whole community really rally around kids and families in our community. The energy is pretty fun.
And you missed the rain. How about that?
My break was conveniently timed. I really did appreciate that.
Did you have enough sway to time your break right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I would love to think that.
Perfect. Well, we talked to you about the initiative today, the Indoor Activity Center. We haven't talked a lot about just the general emergency shelter, right? And if I'm not mistaken, that's kind of where Cedars started, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yes. So that's our roots, and it's adapted as the needs in the community have changed and our state have changed. So has our shelter. And so right now we're a safe place for kids that don't have another safe place to be. So we have kids come to us with homelessness, maybe just their home environment isn't safe. And our job is to be that place until we can get them somewhere more stable that is also safe. So that's what we do.
Emergency makes me think it's open 24/7. They just stop by whenever there's a problem. Cedars is here. Is that fair to say?
Cedars is here. So when you call, you will get met with someone who's welcome, who's waiting to have a kid come in. So whether that's 2 a.m. or 2 p.m., 365 holidays, weekends. We had kids that came to us the wee hours of Christmas morning, and we made sure our staff were up at 2:30 in the morning figuring out what sizes they wore. So before they got here, Santa had some presents under the tree for them.
That was one of the things I had, because out in the community, families, husbands, wives, people at a store, they run across young men and women. And how would you say, for someone just kind of coming across somebody that sees and knows that they need help, how would you advise them to approach, but with subtleness? Because sometimes when young men and women are dealing with trauma, there's a tension that comes with that. But you want to be of help, but there's a fine line. Like, how would you advise someone that's kind of wants to do something, but really doesn't know how to do it?
Yeah, that's a great question. So anytime that we intervene, you can have a hard conversation and you can show up for people if that person knows that you care about them and that you're there to help. So it starts with a relationship, building that relationship of, I need you to know that I see you as a person. I see what your needs are. I will be here for you. I want to be part of the solution to help you. Because when kids are so perceptive. So when they feel that and they know that that's genuine, authentic, they're willing to do.
Yeah, because sometimes, because there's so many trap doors out there,
Yeah.
right? There's so many people that would fake and act, and you know, you would perceive it to be that, and then it becomes something else. That's scary for young people that are learning discernment. You're learning these types of things. That's why it's important for us as a community to continue to keep our eyes open and to be watchful and to be mindful of situations like this, so that we can be of help when we're able to see it.
Absolutely. And there's such a need for community. Know who your neighbors are, know what their needs are, because life happens, right? So that things are going well, and it just takes one event for maybe a family to find themselves experiencing trauma that need that support. And so when we're together as a community, we have those relationships, we can help each other a lot. And then as an organization, CEDARS wants to be here so we can be part of that solution. And we want to start those relationships of, what's going on and how can we partner with you?
Good. On the theme of relationships, you do a lot as program director, you do a lot as a licensed mental health therapist. How do you use the power of relationships similarly and differently in those roles?
Oh, it's really the same. Everything we do is relational, right? So if we're doing coaching and training for staff, that's a relationship. The being here, helping wrap presents for kids at 2:00 on Christmas morning, that's a relationship, right? You build those relationships, and that's the foundation of everything that we do. Our team culture here reflects that. the work that we do, the relationships we build with kids, everything is relational. Because when you can sit there and talk to a friend and you can ask for help and you can be vulnerable, that's when you work together best as a team. But also that's when the kids get served the best, is when you have adults that can have those relationships. The kids see it and benefit from it too.
Good.
Jim mentioned that there's not a lot of turnover at Cedars, that if you come to work here, it's longevity, it's integrity, it's you guys work together as a team. You said you've been here, 5.5, 6 years? How long did it take for you to feel that atmosphere that Jim talks about?
Not very long. I became a mom since I've been here, and the people here at Cedars are the people that have showed up for me in my personal best and my personal lows. When you have a team that's willing to be here and to show up, it translates to each other. It translates to kids. It translates to families. This is hands down the best team I've ever been a part of. It's always exciting. It's fun to be here, and that's a very genuine sentiment.
Speaking of teams, the reason that Cedars is, asking for your money this year on Give to Lincoln Day is for the Indoor Activity Center. Yeah. Walk people through what that means for Cedars and for the 1,000+ youth that you serve every day.
Yeah, so this is going to be a really dynamic space. One of the things I really appreciate about Cedars is how innovative it is, that it's what is the need in the community, what do the kids need, and then how do we go and meet that need? Not just we have an activity center and this is what's going to happen in it, but here's a space that we have so we can respond to those needs. And it's just normal things. Kids deserve to have childhoods. They deserve to have these experiences. So just because of unfortunate circumstances, they still get to participate in sports. They still get to be part of a team. They still get the benefit of learning sportsmanship, leadership, teamwork, all of those things that come out of athletics and sports. They get to have those, and they deserve that. But also we get to create a therapeutic space where kids can use movement and exercise and all the things that research shows us is actually the most effective, some of the most effective trauma work that we can do. So it's therapeutic, it's recreation, but also a place for some of our parenting and pregnant teens to come do some attachment-based activities with their kids and, mom and me playtime, things that just are normal parts of family experiences that get to happen here.
Stricky, did you feel better when you were up and moving?
Yeah, no doubt.
Boom.
Moving.
Look at that.
Yeah.
There's a space for that now, right? Like you've even talked about it on our show, getting back in the gym, getting back on the grind, just how much better you feel. Kids can have that too.
You want me to explain it?
No.
No. So what, for me, like being able to have a safe space to know that you can operate at your best outside and not have to worry about, because that weighs on you. I mean, just think about us as grown-ups, that the weight of what happens during the days, we have to be mindful of what we take back home and to how that's going to, you see what I'm saying? So for youth, they're not ready to have to deal with that dynamic at that early of an age. So it's a beautiful thing when they can still express themselves and go and engage and work with other teams and people and learn those skills those life skills that you learn, the way to communicate and to be able to handle your emotions, because that's another part of it, right? You're playing in a game. You've been used to having to fight and having to battle and having, to maybe cry. But those emotions, you learn how to manage them and how to redirect them and channel them into other areas. And that's why you have this safe space here to allow them to still be able to do those things outside.
That's exactly what it is. Because what other area or space can kids practice learning how to fail where there aren't serious consequences? What are other places that get just as much of a rich learning opportunity for leadership and communication than on a court with somebody, right? There are so many learning opportunities that when kids don't get to have these normal experiences for a variety of reasons, when they get to do that with each other here, they get to learn it, right? Like could we have a therapy group where we practice this stuff? Sure. But how much more fun is a basketball game? How much more fun is a rec league? These are the opportunities that we get for kids. But also, I'm program director and therapist, but also the resident nerd. And people tell the
Excellent.
And so the things that we're also seeing about research is the movement and exercise. When we can improve cardiovascular health, for example, we can improve metabolic health. We actually are seeing that lead to a reduction in manic episodes for people experiencing bipolar. We're seeing the improvement connectivity between the different parts of the brain because we're increasing cardiovascular health, right? So actually the physical
Or eating right too, right?
Yes, nutrition has huge impacts
Yeah.
on how we feel and how our brain can process information. All of these physical things, our brain and our bodies are so connected.
Mhm.
So if we can if we can help kids stabilize, we're going to reduce hospitalizations. We're going to reduce some of these mental health symptoms, medications, reduce some of the side effects of medications.
yeah.
We can do that by exercising. And how much more fun is running and hanging out with your friends?
It's beautiful.
Than doing some other therapy work.
It's been a while since we've had an update, but I know at about 1:30, it was over $250,000 raised by you, the city of Lincoln here.
On call.
Oh, here we go. $267,000. All right. Good job, Lincoln. Good job.
Lincoln.
Keep it going. Have another 10-ish minutes to run any cash or checks down here. Otherwise, we would encourage you to go to givetolincoln.com, search for CEDARS, and give online. Donations there are matched by the Lincoln Community Foundation. It goes to that indoor activity center that Allison was just telling us about. Allison, thank you so much for coming on again. Appreciate your insight, and thanks for the work you do.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Allison, Strick, Austin, one more segment to go here during On the Block before we turn it over to Old School with DP. We'll wrap up the show after this.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from CEDARS at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to CEDARS anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com.
Hey guys, it's Nick. 93.7 The Ticket is excited to be broadcasting this weekend from Stillwater, Oklahoma, as the Big Ten champion Nebraska baseball team appears in their first regional since 2021. From Friday through Monday, Austin and I will have pregame shows, postgame reactions, interviews, and other thoughts from Stillwater as the Huskers begin their road to Omaha. If you're making the trip down there, make sure you join Austin and I on Friday from 12 to 2 from the Garage Burgers and Beer in Stillwater, located just 3 blocks away from O'Brate Stadium. Regional coverage is presented by Mullen Motors, Sandhills Global, and Blur Events. It's NCAA baseball tournament coverage live from Stillwater, Oklahoma, this Friday through Monday on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. At Fairway Meat Market, your family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Do you want to try something different on your smoker? Now through June 2nd, enjoy fresh, all-natural pork belly for $2.99 per pound. Great for burn ends or making your own bacon. Also, USDA Choice Pecana for $9.99 per pound. And if you're looking to stretch your pennies, all-natural fresh chicken drumsticks for just 88 cents per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. See a chance of showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. An afternoon high around 76. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms are likely, with a low around 61. And tomorrow, we'll see a continued chance of showers and storms. An afternoon high around 74. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Join On the Block and Old School live from Scissors and Scotch on 30th and Yankee Hill on Thursday, June 6th to celebrate their grand opening. Feel better instantly with a beard trim, haircut, or a traditional shave courtesy of the experienced and professional barbers at Scissors and Scotch. Stick around after your cut and enjoy a beverage in their cozy bar area, and don't worry, there's more than just Scotch. Spend your afternoon with Scissors and Scotch at 93.7 The Ticket, live on location June 6th from 2 to 6 p.m.
Join Main Street Beatrice for their annual Taste of Spring Beer, Spirits, and Wine Festival on Saturday, June 1st from 4 to 7 p.m. Enjoy an afternoon of unlimited tastings of Nebraska beer, spirits, and wine tasting at Charles Park near downtown. There's something for all palates, and you only pay your entry fee. Food and snacks are available for purchase at the event, as well as off-sale beer, wine, and spirits from vendors. This fun day is for adults 21 and over only. Buy your tickets at mainstreetbeatrice.org.
Do you need motivation to get to the gym on the weekend or even in general? Tune into the Movement Hour each Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. Movement Academy owner Robert Kuhlman will host the show as he introduces new ways to stay in shape. The Movement Hour every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your child was embarrassed when you arrived at their basketball game. 75% of parents or guardians report current alcohol use. Drinking alcohol can cause harm to children and loved ones. By drinking less, your child will be excited to see you at their basketball game. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's truck month at Koppel, and we want to sell them all. Choose between 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list price. Yes, you heard right. That's 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list on select new GMC and Chevrolet inventory. So please make that money-saving drive to Koppel in Louisville or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit, must trade, and finance.
School tells you all about the four seasons: spring, summer, and so on. And then there's a way we really tell what time of year it is. Sports seasons: football season, baseball season, or even off season. Well, what's the chocolate season? Well, it's now, of course. And now, and always. Whether you're looking for a caffeinated pick-me-up on the way to work, a little snack on the way home, or you need the perfect gift that's sure to be appreciated, it's time for the chocolate season, y'all. 40th and Old Cheney, or order ahead at thechocolatseason.com. See you there.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals in everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from Cedars at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to Cedars anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's been a good show out here at Cedars Kids. 66 and Pioneers. We're still out here for another couple hours. Old School comes up right after this. Austin Norman, Erick Strickland, host of On the Block with you.
That's a fact.
To our left, Jay Foreman. Welcome back in town, Jay. Good to see you.
Yeah, what's happening?
Yeah, you disappeared on me, my boy.
Never.
Yeah, I was looking for you and I didn't see you.
I was trying to stream in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gentlemen, I just have one question for you, and I understand your biases. I know what you want to happen, but what do you think happens? Dallas gets it done. Minnesota stays alive.
Ooh, I think Minnesota might stay alive for one more. I mean,
Why?
you're down 3-0. I mean, just because they'll be at home, I think they'll play. I think they found a little something. I think that I guess you just got to play the laws of averages. That, even though Kyrie and Luka didn't play special like they felt like they did in the first three games, they're going to play somewhat better. Then you got to expect the other guys not going to be able to play as well on the road, and then you're going to expect McDaniels to finally show up, and Rudy Gobert can, not be such a negative on defense. Just the laws of averages. But Dallas, when you have two Hall of Famers, it's hard. I mean, they're gonna play excellent one game, and you're just not going to be able to overcome it.
I will say Minnesota is extremely lucky to have escaped, because they were doing some dumb
stuff,
fouls.
Right, that's the thing. That's
like
yeah.
I was like, are y'all trying to give the game away? And to be able to overcome that is pretty special. It isn't even that they play bad. It's not even that they play. These first couple games just got beat.
They play bad down the stretch. The lack of maturity, and when you have Karl Anthony Towns as your elder statesman, but he's the equivalent of a high school kid coming out maturity wise. and your most mature player is the guy that with the least amount of experience, and that's Anthony Edwards, and I mean and Conley, but
right.
Conley's not a Batman or Robin. He's not a Robin to Anthony Edwards, and so you have two guys that in particular, Karl Anthony Towns, who you needed to be able to match Luka or Kyrie or be somewhat. I always say you got to be in the 80th percentile. So if Kyrie scores X amount of points, Karl Anthony Towns has to be at 80% or higher for Minnesota to win. What that does, that kicks up their defense, that depletes Dallas's defense. So then, therefore, them and Anthony Edwards can leapfrog the other star. That hadn't happened, and their bench hasn't played well. They actually, to be honest with you, hadn't rebounded well, and that's what they should have. If you're going to beat Dallas, you have to rebound well.
That's a fact.
Defensive rebounds, and Dallas in the first 3 games destroyed him, and on the offensive boards. And then you see them just down the stretch. You got to think the first 3 games that they lost, they were winning.
Yeah.
So that
in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. So
with 5 minutes to go.
Right. In 3 minutes.
Yeah.
2 minutes in the first 2 games. So and then they were going into the fourth quarter. I think in one game double digits. And so now Kyrie can bring you back single handedly, same with Luka, but I think it's just the lack of experience. And then one of the things, Strick, is that I don't think, especially those guys that I mentioned, Karl Anthony Towns, the Frenchman, Rudy Gobert, and all those guys, they don't have the mental power to last that long. And I mean, this far in the playoffs, nobody on the team is used to going this far. And so their bodies might be trained for it, but they're mentally they're not. And that's where you see them in the first 2 games at home. First of all, at home, you got the crowd noise and the momentum. You shouldn't start off, especially game 2, having 2 or 3 defensive coverage busts in the first 5 possessions.
Right.
On easy things, right? Lack of communication. So even if the rotation from the helper person, or if we're going to blitz the pick and roll, if we're, depending on who has it, you can't be late on your secondary rotation because Dallas is too good. And at that point, they were rotating the ball and they were getting easy buckets. That let me know that they weren't mentally prepared for the championship type of game.
What's coming up on Old School?
We'll talk a little bit about the game tonight. Talk about Husker baseball because they got a big game tomorrow and what it means and what you got to how do you come down from a championship and then get back up obviously to answer the bell in a very short time and travel. It's a unique process to that, and baseball is a very unique sport to try to do it because even though you are the Big Ten champion, you possibly could be facing the best player in the nation, and you're going into a hotbed of Big 12, Old State. But Oklahoma State is a blue blood, and you got Florida lingering there, who has a recent national championship,
and it's a home run derby type of
park, right?
Park.
Yeah, and that's where you got to really stay steady. Because
your pitchers got to keep the ball down,
and also with the weather, which I've been a part of the last couple of weekends, you have to be able to pitch, you have to be able to manage your coach based on the conditions as well as the flow of the game. And so hopefully the experience of Will Bolt and some of the guys on the staff will be able to lead them through it.
There we go. That's where I'm headed. Nick and I on our way to Stillwater here in about half an hour. It's been fun here at CEDARS. Who's with you tomorrow on the block, Stricky?
Yeah.
Who's with you? It ain't me. I'm with the game.
Rico.
It's Rico?
Yeah.
It's Jay Foreman.
I might pop there I'll be able to get there for an hour.
There we go. That'll be on the block.
Strick,
Rico, Jay, tomorrow, 2 to 4. It's been a blast out at CEDARS. Don't forget, still 8 hours to give by going to givetolincoln.com and search CEDARS. For Strick, I'm Austin. Been a good show. Old School on the other side.